My wife and her brothers thought it was hilarious to prank me, left me stranded 300 miles from home, laughing as they sped off yelling, "Good luck." I never went back. 5 years later, she found me, and her smile died the second she saw who was standing behind me. I heard their laughter before the truck even pulled away. High-pitched, manic, the kind of laughter that sounds wrong when you're standing alone in 107-degree heat with nothing but a bag of Doritos and $17 in cash. The gas station sat in the middle of absolute nowhere. Highway 78, Eastern Arizona. Desert stretched in every direction, like someone had copy-pasted the same stretch of sand and scrub brush for 1,000 miles. Heat shimmered off the asphalt in waves, making everything look liquid and unreal. My wife Ashley's voice cut through the air, carried by the wind and her perpetual need to perform. "Have fun walking, babe." Her brothers, Mike and Danny, 31 and 28 respectively, hung out the windows of my Ford F-150 with their phones up, recording, always documenting, always turning life into content. 300 miles, Mike yelled, his grin visible even from 50 feet away. "Better start moving," the engine roared. My truck, the one I'd made payments on for 4 years, kicked up a cloud of dust that turned the world orange. They were gone. I stood there in the parking lot of the Sundown Gas and Convenience holding a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos I'd just bought with the last of my pocket cash. My wallet was in the truck. My phone was in the truck. My water bottle was in the truck. My sunscreen was in the truck. My dignity was in the truck. Everything was in the truck. They'd asked me to pump the gas while they went inside to grab drinks and use the bathroom. Ashley had kissed my cheek right before I got out. "You're the best," she'd said. Her lips were sticky with the cherry lip gloss she always wore. "Seriously, what would I do without you?" I should have known. God, I should have known. They'd been whispering all morning, giggling in the back seat, sharing looks in the rearview mirror, planning. This wasn't the first prank, but it was going to be the last one I'd tolerate. I'm Marcus Webb. I was 32 years old when this happened. Software developer at a mid-sized tech company in Phoenix, making $95,000 a year. I'd been married to Ashley Morrison Webb for 3 years, together for 5. I thought marriage meant partnership, protection, trust. I was wrong about all of that. The gas station clerk, a weathered man in his 60s with sunspots covering his forearms, watched me through the window. When I walked inside, the air conditioning hit me like a blessing from God himself. "They ditch you?" he asked. No judgment, just curiosity. "Looks like it." He shrugged, going back to his crossword puzzle. "They always come back, but I knew they wouldn't. Not soon. This was content. This was views. This was me suffering for their entertainment, and the longer I suffered, the better the payoff. The more dramatic my reaction when they finally rolled back up with the cameras running, the more engagement they'd get. I asked to use his phone. He slid an ancient cordless across the counter. I dialed Ashley's number from memory. It rang 4 times, then went to voicemail. Her voice, bright and bubbly. "Hey, this is Ashley. I can't come to the phone right now because I'm probably making memories. Leave a message and I'll get back to you when I can." I didn't leave a message. I tried Mike's number, Danny's number. Both went straight to voicemail. "Can I get you something?" the clerk asked. "Water? You look like you could use water." "I don't have any money. They took my wallet." He grabbed a bottle of water from the cooler behind him and slid it across the counter. "On the house. Anybody who gets ditched in this heat deserves at least that much." I drank the entire bottle in about 30 seconds. The cold water hitting my stomach felt like salvation. My phone buzzed one last time before it died. I could see the screen light up in the truck's cup holder through the dusty window. A text notification, probably from Ashley. Probably something performative. Probably something designed to look good when they posted the screenshots later. That's when I made my decision. Not in anger, not in rage, in something much colder and more permanent than that. In clarity. I'd been here before. Not physically, but emotionally. In this exact space of humiliation while they laughed. 2 years ago, Ashley had surprised me at work by showing up in a ridiculous costume. Full clown makeup, rainbow wig, the works, and proposing to me all over again in front of my entire office. I'd already said yes once. We were already married, but she wanted the video. She wanted the reaction. She wanted me to look surprised and delighted while my coworkers filmed and she racked up views. I'd smiled. I'd played along. Because that's what you do when you love someone, right? You support their dreams, even when their dreams involve humiliating you for internet strangers. 18 months ago, they'd replaced my shampoo with Nair. I'd lost patches of hair on my scalp, had to shave my head completely. Went to work looking like I'd joined a skinhead gang. Ashley posted the before and after with laughing emojis. 340,000 views. 1 year ago, they'd staged a fake car accident. Called me while I was at work, Danny screaming in the background that Ashley was hurt, that I needed to come to the hospital immediately. I'd left a crucial client meeting, driven 90 miles per hour through Phoenix traffic, burst into the ER waiting room at St. Joseph's Hospital in a panic. Ashley was sitting there eating vending machine chips. "Gotcha!" She'd hugged me while Mike filmed my face going from terror to confusion to rage. "You should see your face right now. Oh my God, this is going to be gold." I'd almost left her then, almost walked out of that hospital and never looked back, but she'd cried. Real tears, or tears convincing enough to pass for real. She'd said she was sorry, said it had gone too far, car, said her brothers had pushed her into it, but she realized now it was cruel. "I love you," she'd said, holding my face in her hands. "I love you so much. I would never actually hurt you. You know that, right? It's just for fun. It's just content. But I'll stop, I promise. No more pranks." 3 months later, they'd accidentally locked me in the garage overnight while they went to a party. I'd had to sleep on the concrete floor next to my workbench. They'd filmed my reaction when they let me out in the morning. 6 months after that, they'd told my family I'd been fired from my job just to see how they'd react. My mother had called me crying. My father had offered to pay my mortgage. I'd had to spend 2 hours explaining it was a prank, that I was fine, that my job was secure. Ashley had posted that video with the caption, "Pranking my husband's family. They're so sweet." 478,000 views. Each time I'd told myself it was the last time. Each time I'd believed her apologies. Each time Mike and Danny had said, "Come on, man, it's just a joke. Don't be so sensitive." But standing in that gas station, watching the heat waves distort the empty highway, I understood something with perfect clarity. This would never stop. This would never get better. This was who they were. This was who she'd chosen to be. And I was done being the punchline. A trucker pulled up around 3:30 p.m. Big guy, late 50s, with a John Deere cap and arms like tree trunks. He walked inside, grabbed 2 energy drinks and a pack of beef jerky, then noticed me sitting against the wall. "You okay, son?" "Been better," I said. He looked at me, really looked at me, at my sunburned arms, at my empty hands, at the resignation probably written all over my face. "Where are you headed?" "Anywhere but here." He nodded slowly. "I'm going to Albuquerque, then north to Denver. You can ride along if you want. No expectations, no strings." His name was Earl Patterson. 32 years driving long haul. Originally from Nebraska. Divorced twice. 3 kids, all grown. He didn't ask why I was stranded. Didn't ask why I wasn't calling someone. Just offered me a ride and a bag of Cheetos. We drove in comfortable silence for the first hour. I watched the desert pass. Watched the sun start its slow descent. Watched my old life disappear in the rearview mirror. "You running from something?" Earl asked eventually. "Running towards something," I said. "Just don't know what yet." He nodded. "That's honest. I respect honest." Around sunset, my phone must have turned back on. Maybe Ashley plugged it in to check my location, because Earl's CB radio crackled and his phone buzzed. "Someone's trying real hard to find you," he observed. "Let them try." We stopped at a truck stop outside Albuquerque around midnight. Earl bought me dinner. Chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, coffee strong enough to strip paint. Real food. The first thing I'd eaten since that bag of Doritos 12 hours ago. "You got family?" Earl asked. "My parents are in Minnesota. We're not close. Haven't talked in about 2 years. Because of her? Because of a lot of things." I took a sip of coffee. Ashley didn't like them. Said they were judgmental. Every time I tried to visit, she'd plan something. A trip, a party, something I couldn't miss. Eventually, I just stopped trying. Earl cut into his steak. "Son, I'm going to give you some advice you didn't ask for. You ready?" "Sure. Whatever you're running from, it's going to follow you until you deal with it. You can drive to Denver, you can drive to Alaska, but unless you make a clean break, legal, official, final, you're still tied to it. I don't have my wallet, don't have my cards, don't have my ID. You know your social security number? Yeah, that's all you need to start. Get to a city, get to a legal aid office, file for divorce, file a police report if you want. What they did might be criminal abandonment, but most importantly, cut the cord. Don't leave it hanging." He was right. I knew he was right, but I wasn't ready yet. Some part of me, maybe the part that still remembered loving her, or the part that was just tired, or the part that wanted to disappear completely, that part wanted to vanish without a trace. I wanted them to wonder. I wanted them to worry. I wanted them to understand what it felt like when someone you trusted just left. Earl dropped me off in Denver 2 days later, gave me $200 cash. "Pay it forward someday," he said. I did pay it forward, just not in the way he probably meant. I worked construction for 6 months, cash jobs, under the table, lived in an extended stay motel off Colfax Avenue, saved every penny. I got a PO, an A box, contacted my employer through an anonymous email, told them I was taking a personal leave for family emergency. They approved 6 months unpaid. I went to Colorado Legal Services, spoke with attorney Maria Vasquez, 16 years of family law experience, who listened to my story without judgment. "Do you want to file for divorce?" she asked. "Eventually, but not yet." "Why not?" "Because I want her to understand what she did, and she won't understand until she feels what I felt." Maria leaned back in her chair. "Mr. Webb, I can't advise you to disappear on your wife. That's not legal advice I can give, but I can tell you that Colorado is a no-fault divorce state. When you're ready, the process is straightforward. Will she be able to find me through the filing? If she hires a lawyer and they do their job, eventually, yes. But there are ways to maintain privacy during proceedings." I thanked her, left, and decided to wait. 3 months became 6. 6 became a year. I moved to Monterey, California. Small coastal town, beautiful, quiet, far from Arizona, far from Ashley, far from the person I'd been. I got a job with a local tech startup, Webflow Solutions, small company, 15 employees. They didn't ask too many questions about the gap in my employment. I was good at my work. That was enough. I found a therapist, Dr. Patricia Monroe, 23 years practicing clinical psychology. She specialized in trauma and emotional abuse. abuse. What you experienced, she said during our third session, has a name. It's called intimate partner abuse, emotional and psychological abuse. The pranks weren't jokes. They were systematic humiliation designed to make you doubt your own perceptions. She said she loved me. Abusers often say they love their victims. Sometimes they even believe it. But love doesn't look like what you described. Those sessions saved me, gave me language for what I'd experienced, gave me permission to be angry, to grieve, to start rebuilding. 2 years in, I met someone. Her name was Sarah Chen, 34, attorney at Chen & Associates, a boutique family law firm in Carmel. Sharp, brilliant. She had this way of looking at you that made you feel seen, really seen, not as content, not as a punchline, as a person. We met at a coffee shop. She was reading case files. I was working on code. She asked if she could share my table. We started talking. Haven't really stopped since. I told her everything on our 5th date, about Ashley, about the pranks, about being abandoned in the desert, about disappearing. She listened, didn't interrupt, didn't judge. When I finished, she said, very simply, "You deserve better." Not, "I'm sorry that happened." Not, "That's awful." Just, "You deserve better." Like it was a fact. Like it was something I should have already known. We built something real. Something without cameras, without performance, without the constant anxiety that any moment might be turned into content. 3 years into my disappearance, Sarah asked if I wanted to file for divorce. I should, I said. I know I should. But part of me wants her to find me first, wants her to see what I built without her, wants her to understand that I didn't just survive, I thrived. Sarah smiled. That's petty. I know. I respect petty. 4 years in, Sarah and I got engaged. Small ceremony on the beach. Her parents, my parents, I'd reconnected with them, explained everything, apologized for the distance. They understood. They'd never liked Ashley. 5 years almost to the day after that gas station, I got a call at work. Unknown number. California area code. Marcus Webb? A woman's voice. Professional. Speaking. Mr. Webb, this is Jennifer Torres with Peninsula Private Investigations. I've been hired to locate you on behalf of Ashley Morrison Webb. Would you be willing to... I hung up. Called Sarah immediately. They found me. Okay, she said calmly. We knew this might happen eventually. What do you want to do? I want to file. Now. Today. I want everything legal and locked down before she shows up. Come to my office. We'll handle it. We filed that afternoon. Divorce petition on grounds of abandonment and cruel treatment. California law, clean and straightforward. Sarah drafted every word herself, included documentation I'd been collecting over 5 years. Screenshots of their social media posts, the prank videos, all still public, all still monetized. They'd made thousands of dollars off my humiliation. Mike's channel, Epic Pranks, had 2.3 million subscribers. The desert abandonment video had 743,000 views. We also filed a civil suit. Intentional infliction of emotional distress, theft of vehicle, criminal abandonment, the therapist's records from Dr. Monroe, the timeline of abuse, 5 years of evidence. This is comprehensive, Sarah said, and devastating. Are you sure you want to go this hard? They went hard on me for years. This is just accountability. She kissed me. Then let's make sure accountability sticks. 2 days later, on a Tuesday afternoon, I was waiting in the lobby of Sarah's office building. We had a meeting with a different client. I was just killing time, scrolling through my phone. The elevator doors opened. Ashley stepped out. I saw her before she saw me. She looked different, older, tired. Her hair was shorter. She'd lost weight. She was wearing expensive clothes, but they hung wrong, like she'd bought them for someone else's body. Then she saw me. Her whole body froze. Her mouth fell open. Her phone slipped from her hand and clattered on the marble floor. Marcus? The word came out broken, disbelieving. I didn't move, didn't smile, didn't give her anything. She rushed toward me, tears already forming. The performance began, because everything with Ashley was a performance. Oh my God! Marcus! I've been looking everywhere. I hired a private investigator. I've been so worried. I'm so sorry. It was stupid. I was young and dumb and I didn't understand what I... Why are you here? I asked. My voice was cold, flat, the voice of someone talking to a stranger. I tracked you down through your old work records. They finally told me you'd moved to California. I needed to see you, to apologize, to... She grabbed my arm. Her fingers felt like claws. Please, please, Marcus, I've changed. Mike and Danny feel terrible. We all do. We deleted the videos. You deleted them 2 months ago, I said. After they'd been up for 5 years. After you made money off them. After Epic Pranks started losing sponsors because people found out about the desert video. Her face went red. How do you... I've been watching. The whole time. Every video, every post, every comment. I've been documenting everything. The tears stopped. Just like that. Like someone had flipped a switch. What do you want? She asked. The victim act disappeared. This was the real Ashley. The one who calculated every move. Nothing from you. Then why did you let me find you? I didn't let you do anything. You hired a PI. That's on you. She looked around the lobby, noticed the building directory. Sarah Chen, attorney at law. Is that who you're here to see? That's none of your business. Are you divorcing me? Her voice rose. After 5 years? You just disappeared. Do you know what that did to me? The humiliation? Everyone asking where my husband went? My family thought you died. Your family thought you died. I'm a victim here too. I almost laughed. Almost. Humiliation? Yes. My channel lost followers. Mike's sponsors dropped him. Danny couldn't get partnership deals. We lost everything. everything because you just vanished. Good, I said simply. Her face twisted into something ugly. You're pathetic, you know that? You couldn't handle a joke. You couldn't handle— The elevator dinged behind me. Sarah stepped out. Professional, polished, power suit, heels that clicked on marble like punctuation marks. She walked straight to my side and kissed my cheek. Ashley's eyes went wide. Who is this? Sarah extended her hand. The left hand, the one with the engagement ring. 3 carats, princess cut, impossible to miss. Sarah Chen, Marcus's fiancée, and his attorney. I watched the blood drain from Ashley's face, watched her mouth open and close like a fish, watched 5 years of assumptions shatter in real time. Attorney? Ashley whispered. Sarah pulled a folder from her briefcase, the one we'd prepared yesterday, the one we'd hoped we'd need. We filed for divorce this morning. You'll be served within the week. We're citing abandonment, emotional cruelty, and systematic abuse. You can't— We did. Sarah's voice was professional, calm, the voice of someone who'd done this 1,000 times. You'll also be served with a civil suit, intentional infliction of emotional distress, criminal abandonment, theft of vehicle, false imprisonment, remember the garage incident, and unlawful monetization of humiliation content. That's not— You can't prove— Your brothers posted the videos publicly. Sarah pulled out her tablet, showed Ashley the screen. This is the desert abandonment video. 743,000 views. It's been preserved as evidence, along with 47 other videos showing documented abuse. Ashley stumbled backward. Those were jokes, pranks. Everyone knew. California Penal Code 368B1 defines abuse of a dependent adult, Sarah continued. While Marcus doesn't qualify as a dependent adult, California also recognizes emotional abuse in divorce proceedings, which is what we're filing. Additionally, civil law in California provides remedies for IIED when someone intentionally engages in extreme and outrageous conduct. She handed Ashley the folder. Everything's in there. The filing, the evidence, the documentation from his therapist, the timeline, the financial impact analysis showing he lost approximately $18,000 in work due to stress leave following your pranks, and the police report. Police report? Ashley's voice cracked. Marcus filed a report last week. Criminal abandonment. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Department is reviewing. They might press charges. I pulled out my phone, showed Ashley a screenshot of the police report. Case number 2024 MC 847392. Filed with Deputy Robert Martinez, 17 years with MCSD. You wanted me to let it go, I said quietly. I did. I let go of you, but the law doesn't forget. Ashley looked at me, at Sarah, at the folder in her shaking hands. Marcus, please, I came here to apologize. I came here to make things right. No, I said. You came here because your brother's podcast failed. Because people found out what you did. Because you needed me to forgive you publicly so you could salvage your reputation. Her silence confirmed everything. You left me in the desert, I said. 300 miles from home, in 107-degree heat, with no phone, no wallet, no water. You laughed, you filmed it, you posted it, you made money off my suffering. It wasn't just anything, I interrupted. It was cruelty. Systematic, calculated cruelty. And I'm done pretending it was anything else. Sarah stepped forward. The divorce will go through with or without your cooperation. If you contest, we'll make every video, every text message, every piece of evidence public record. Your choice. Ashley looked between us, calculating, trying to find an angle, trying to find the play that would get her what she wanted. She wouldn't find it, because there wasn't one. I loved you, she said finally. Small voice, victim voice, one last performance. No, I said. You loved what I gave you. The stability, the paycheck, the target for your content. But you never loved me. That's not— Ashley, Sarah interrupted gently. You need to leave now. If you want to discuss the divorce terms, have your attorney contact our office. Otherwise, we'll proceed without your input. Ashley stood there for another moment. Then she turned and walked to the elevator. Her shoulders shook. She might have been crying, might have been performing. I didn't care which. The elevator doors closed. Sarah squeezed my hand. You okay? Yeah, I said. Actually, I am. We walked to a cafe down the street, sat outside in the California sunshine, ordered coffee. That went better than expected, Sarah said. Did it? She didn't make a scene. She took the folder. She'll probably sign rather than fight. And if she fights, then we bury her with evidence. Sarah sipped her coffee. But she won't fight. She can't afford to. Not with everything we have. Not with the public record threat hanging over her head. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. Marcus, this is Mike. Ashley told us what happened. We're sorry. We were young and stupid. Can we talk? I showed it to Sarah. Are you going to respond? She asked. No. Good. Another buzz. Danny this time. Dude, please. We fucked up. We know that. Please don't sue us. We'll pay you back for everything. Please. I blocked both numbers. They're going to keep trying, Sarah said. Let them. They can't reach me. They can't manipulate me. They can't touch me. How does it feel? I thought about that. Thought about 5 years of rebuilding. 5 years of therapy. 5 years of becoming someone who didn't flinch at laughter. Who didn't assume every surprise was a setup. Who didn't scan rooms for cameras. It feels like winning, I said. The divorce went through in 6 months. Ashley signed everything. Didn't contest. Didn't fight. Just signed. I got a letter from her lawyer 3 weeks after that day in the lobby. She was waiving all claims, asking that I drop the civil suit, promising to remove all remaining videos photos and references. Sarah and I discussed it, decided to accept, not because they deserved mercy, but because dragging it out meant staying connected, and I was done being connected to any of them. The civil suit was dropped. The criminal investigation in Arizona went nowhere. Not enough evidence for prosecution after 5 years, but it was enough to scare them. Mike's channel never recovered. Last I checked, he was down to 340,000 subscribers. No sponsors, no deals. Comments on every video asking about the desert abandonment guy. Ashley deleted all her social media, completely disappeared from the internet. Danny moved to Oregon, got a job at a ski resort, stopped posting. And me? I kept building. Sarah and I got married a year after the divorce finalized. Real wedding this time. Big, beautiful. Both our families, friends, co-workers. No cameras except the professional photographer we hired. We bought a house in Carmel, 3 bedrooms, ocean view, space for kids someday, space for the life we were building together. I still see Dr. Monroe once a month, still process things, still work through the scars, but I'm happy. Really, genuinely happy. The kind of happy that doesn't need to be performed or posted or validated by strangers. Sometimes I think about that gas station, about standing in the heat, about the moment I decided to walk away instead of waiting to be rescued. Best decision I ever made, because they didn't leave me in the desert. I left them in the dust, and I never looked back.